Good day, gamers. Purple Mentat here, bringing you episode 20 of my Regrowth Let's Play. So, the fish. We were working on fish feeder last time. Even with 2 advanced cooling upgrades, it's not enough. The water's too hot. We might be able to make a 3rd and get them happy during the evening, but if I take a look at the other problem, wrong time. Yeah, we're really going to need to get our titanium going and make the ultimate or extreme cooling upgrade before we're going to be able to have those fish be useful for us. So, one quick quest that we can complete right now is this little piggy, which does unlock a quest elsewhere, so we're going to take care of that real quick. To make a spawn pig egg, you of course need an egg, 3 experience drops, 1 of each kind of mushroom, and 2 carrots. There you go. Simple as that. So we're going to let that process. We'll come back and collect it later while we continue working on what the world enables. Next on the list, we're going to tackle the Smith of the Year quest. Now you've got a more ready supply of metals, why not try your hand at smithing? It wants me to create a blacksmith's anvil and blacksmith hammer. The anvil can be used to craft a number of things and to repair armor and tools. It works by hitting the top surface of the anvil with the blacksmith's hammer in hand. So let's go get that. Ooh, 64 nether brick. Kind of nice. Let's go work on getting that together. We need the blacksmith here. The anvil made with 3 brick construction blocks, a nether brick, and some burnt brick. All right, so we're going to need all of our remaining burnt brick and probably some extra. Yeah. So let's go get our... Ooh, and then we need 2 nether brick. 3, so we need a total of 12, and 6 is 18, so we need 10 more burnt brick. Easy peasy. To make the burnt brick, we're actually going to use nether brick because it uses half the lava and half the time over regular brick, and we should have a good supply of nether brick. Let's just get 10 more of that going, and, you know what? So to make 10 of these, and that will teach me not to pay attention to chat as the 10 a.m. server restart came and went, with notable performance increase for me. Alright, so what was I doing? I was getting my hands on 3 buckets of lava out of that fluid tank right there. Luckily, I have exactly 3 buckets in my tool bag just waiting for me to use. Hope that the pig egg recipe managed all right. So we're going to toss in our lava and we're going to toss in all 10 nether brick, and we'll come back once that's done so that we can complete the blacksmith items quest. I'm kind of liking the fact that I can start something processing, run off and do another quest while I wait for it to finish, and then come back to it. That is good design and good workflow. All right, how are you doing? You are ready. Excellent. Let's get our pigs going. Bam. Ha! It fell into the other altar. Alright, so in the life of the world, there we are. This little piggy complete. We collect 8 experience drops and a spawn pig. Pork's good. Pork's really good. And pigs will let you ride them if that tickles your fancy. Why not? And now we have a breeding pair of piggies waiting in the world if we ever decide we need them for something. I'll probably, I'll use a little bit of carrots and we'll get ourselves up to the 4 that I like to have. That way, if I ever decide I want one right now, I can just grab one and use it. No need to wait. There you go. Yes, piggies. Be happy. Be very happy together and make more piggies. Alright, that nether brick should have burnt into burnt brick by now. Kind of loving the paste on the boots plus the Sojourner sash. Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, some of it's done anyway. We're still waiting on a couple more. But while we're waiting, we can get started. So, I'm gonna need nothing else, actually. We're good. Blacksmith's anvil, let's make 3 of these burnt construction blocks. And that should be... I need a block of nether brick. Do I have that handy somewhere? I think I need to actually create it out of 4 nether brick. That's okay. That's easy enough. Bam, bam, bam. And last bit. There's the anvil. Now we just need the last few so that, well, let's see, what else do you need? You need 2 blocks of nether brick. Hang on here. There we are. Moving fast. Gotta go fast. No. There. You. And there we go. Blacksmith's hammer. Fantastic. And the wonderful thing that this quest does for us back in What the World Enables is it gives us 64 more nether brick, but more importantly, the blacksmith's assistant. Now, the blacksmith's assistant can just be stuffed next to the anvil and it will smack the anvil for you. I do not remember if it needs power, but we have a book that should teach us about it, so let's go grab that and learn the learning. In the factory, hang on. Sawmill, paintbrush, power generation, rotors, water turbines, the sluice. You can make a specialty fish sorter. That amuses me more than it probably should. Really? Huh, I guess the smithing is its own book? Efficient breeding, diving underwater, basic materials and processing, perhaps? Burnt bricks, furnace, blacksmith's anvil, blacksmith's assistant. You need to place a tank full of some form of liquid experience underneath it. In mariculture, you can attain some molten experience by melting down enchanted items in a crucible furnace. So that's where the molten experience comes from. Comes in. So to create molten experience in this pack, you're going to want to use these experience drops, the same things you've been using for the quest. You know what? We're going to go ahead and make that happen because I don't like doing things manual. Oh, crash. We're getting a lot of use out of that technical difficulties banner this time. So the experience drops give 40 millibuckets of molten experience each and melt at 800 C. So we're going to get a full stack gone, and we're going to pick up the ingot caster in this case, and instead grab ourselves an empty tank, which is apparently harder to find than I thought. So let me just look up the tank recipe, and we're going to make a couple more of these. It's just, right, it's the copper mix tanks. Copper, planks, and glass. Make me more tanks. I'm probably going to need... Oh, really? Is that all I have? Yep, that's all I have materials for. Nope, not allowed. I'm not happy with this number of tanks. I want more tanks. There. Couple of reasons for that. One, I want to be able to... There we are. That'll do. I want to be able to gather lots of this creosote oil. And this guy currently cannot function because he's full of creosote oil. So we're going to go ahead and put down 3 more fluid tanks to drain 3/4 of what this thing can hold for the time being. And we'll stash the rest of the creosote. Well, we're slowly gathering more and more of it, as you can see. We'll stash the rest in here for the time being. Oh wow, that thing... not actually full. That's odd. Hang on a moment. Fix this. Don't know why that wasn't full, but we're going to let it fill up and then we'll take care of that problem. That's more like it. Good. Alright, back to our smithing exploits. So I want an empty tank right next to this guy. And that's going to fill up and eject the fluids into it as soon as that heat gets up to 800. But you know what? Let's actually make ourselves at least one heating upgrade. I'll probably do 2 of them. So these require the silicon carbide, which is just clay, sand, and coal, as you remember, to make the heating components. I need 2 heating components and a piece of iron to make the basic, and then 2 more heating components and aluminium to make the standard. And then the advanced is just more heating components, iron, and aluminium. It's not until you get to the ultimate that you start needing rare resources. So I'm going to go and I'm going to get myself a couple of advanced heating upgrades crafted, making the clay with the clayconia and using up the iron and sand that I have easily able to produce from my vast collection of essences. And I shall return once that's complete. You know what? I changed my mind. We're going to make things a little bit fancier, not just going to do it all off camera because I want to show you a thing. So we're going to make use of our Buildcraft bag to automate things a bit. Now I'm slightly worried about using an emerald transport pipe with this, but we will certainly find out if this works. And I'm going to need an obsidian transport pipe and probably some quartz pipes as well. What we're going to do, we're going to set the emerald pipe down in the world, and we're going to put a stripes, actually we're going to set a stripes pipe down right there. We're going to set an emerald pipe off of it and set a chest on top. And we're going to filter this to only do sand. Yes, whitelist, blacklist, round robin, no. We're going to whitelist sand. You're only allowed to pull sand out. So let me stick a stack of sand in there. And now we're going to set up our obsidian transport pipe right there, and we're going to run our quartz transport pipes back into the chest. Now it's just a simple matter of applying power to both of these. And if I've done this right, it should place down the sand, which will immediately turn into clay and get sucked up by the obsidian pipe. I seem to have the obsidian pipe set wrong. It's getting sucked up by the hawker hop instead. Alright, well, that's okay. We can alter things. Ooh, see, that one got grabbed by the obsidian pipe, but it only does it as fast as the engine pulses. So we're gonna smash you. I want the pipe here, and I want it facing that way. I don't know if that actually makes a difference or not. That's what we're gonna do, because it makes me feel better. And we're gonna give this a moment to get up to speed, but there we go. Now, if I want sand, all I need to do is dump sand into this chest. If I want clay, all I need to do is dump sand into this chest, and once it's done, I can come back and just collect the clay. So there you go. Slightly more automated clay production than we had before. Pretty happy about that. Okay, now I'm gonna go and finish making all of the rest of the stuff off camera. Back soon. One last refinement. If you really want things to move at their fastest, you will put a gold pipe right here after the obsidian pipe, so that when items end up getting gathered by the obsidian pipe, they get boosted through the system much faster. Now you can use a couple of gold pipes to speed it up even more if you want. In fact, I think it's 3, if I remember. This is working on ancient knowledge, though. I don't know if this still applies, but I seem to remember it takes 3 gold pipes to get something up to maximum speed. That certainly seems to be, wow. Kind of bugging out a little bit there. So, let's see, we seem to have lost 2 clay in the process, and yup, it ended up in here because of the hopper hawk. If the hopper hawk weren't there, it wouldn't be causing a problem, and in fact, you could replace the obsidian pipe setup with another hopper hawk. Don't worry about these wooden engines flashing and glowing. They don't explode. In fact, I don't believe any engines explode right now, but I also believe that we're going back to that mechanic in the future. So be wary. Make sure that you have, well, at least, especially combustion engines, they have to explode, right? Anyway, be careful with how you use your engines. You might regret it if you're not. Okay, moving on. Alright, that gives us our 2 advanced heating upgrades installed, which will allow the heat to climb a lot faster, as you can see. That's with the heating upgrades, and that's without them. Yeah, quite a bit of a difference in how fast this will heat up. Unfortunately, once it reaches max heat, these become effectively worthless. But That's okay. I don't need them to continue to be awesome. I just need them to get me up to awesome quickly, because after that, then my machine can finish its job that much faster. Next step along the way, if I'm looking to further upgrade this guy, would be to make some of the hyperkinetic upgrades. And I can only get to standard. The advanced hyperkinetic requires the titanium, but the standard is just sugar, iron, and aluminium. So let me grab myself some sugar cane, show you how this is going to work. Ooh, running low on this stuff. That's okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is actually exactly what I need. That works out pretty well. So the standard basic hyperkinetic upgrade is made with an iron in the center and sugar around the outsides, and the advanced, or the standard hyperkinetic, is a basic in the center, 2 sugar and 2 aluminium to make the standard hyperkinetic upgrade. And the hyperkinetic upgrades, well, they make things move faster because, you know, it's hyperkinetic. So what you can easily do is keep one in there at all times, and then when you reach the appropriate temperature, just put another one in there and it'll move a lot faster. Or you can just leave one advanced heating and the 2 hyperkinetic upgrades in there to make things heat up relatively quickly and process very, very fast. All of this because I wanted to make some experience droplets. That's okay, totally worth it. This is going to be... Ooh, someone spawned a wither. This is going to be helpful in the long run. There are people on this server that play like 8 hours a day, so they're way ahead of me. Let's see, back to what the world enables. We've done Smith of the Year. Fire away. It really wants me to go gather that nether rutile. You'd like to start producing more industry to aid you in healing the scar left in the world by the theft of the ores. To do this, however, you will want a more resilient metal, titanium, to work with. So, let's check out on a roll. The rolling machine. Can I make that without titanium? Might be useful. Sheet of aluminium, piston, crafting table, brick, construction block. Yes, we can. We could totally get the rolling machine going. That would be a good idea. So, maybe it's time you start dabbling in mechanics. A rolling machine should be able to provide some of the functionality of the blacksmith's anvil, though without manual hammering. It should be able to work as long as it receives some form of power. A simple steam-based engine should be able to provide what you need in that regard, and that's going to be the hobbyist steam engine. There are much more potent steam engines that we'll likely be making use of later because I kind of love Railcraft steam. And this just uses gold. That's the rare resource you needed to get this going. So yeah, let's get some crafting going on making some rolling machines. Step 1 is going to be those aluminium sheets, and those are made in the anvil using block of aluminium. 1 block will make 8 sheets. So, or you can make them cheaper in the rolling machine, which is the idea. So, let's get something moving for this. Sorry about that, the distraction. I just got a very long message from my partner, which will require checking out in a moment. But at the moment, I'm working. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to break this block. And we're going to put the fluid experience down there, set the blacksmith's assistance on top, put the blacksmith's anvil next to it, make ourselves a block of aluminium with our ingots. Just the 1 for now, because we only need 1 to get started and get to more efficient. Put that on top, and give the assistant the hammer. And he should happily bang away. Oops. It works better if you put it on the proper side. Ooh, you know what? This actually does need to be above. I'm being silly. Stop that. Makes a certain amount of sense that you want the hammer to be swinging down at the proper spot. So, Molten Experience. And put you there. Ting. Ting. Doesn't move exceptionally fast, but that's okay. I can go do other things while I wait for it to finish. And as you can see, it slowly drains off that Molten Experience. Actually, rather quickly drains it off. Huh. Alright, so I am going to go take care of a couple of other things off camera while I wait for that to finish, and I shall return briefly. So folks, I came back and found that my blacksmith's assistant was no longer functioning. The full stack of 64 experience drops only produced enough molten experience to get this thing 44% done. So maybe the blacksmith's assistant is not for me just yet. Other ways, oh, that's molten electrum. I wanted molten experience, which apparently there's not a recipe for. Hang on. There we go. We can do the experience drops. They produce molten experience. The only other option is like the berries, but either way, you're going to need some sort of automated harvesting to be able to manage this in detail. I mean, in industrial levels. As such, the blacksmith's assistant is not really an option right now. Instead, we're going to do it the manual way. So this unworked sheet of aluminum needs to be on the blacksmith anvil. It needs to get a total of 50 smacks, left clicks with the hammer. And once it's done, it will make that explosion and it'll look finished. Then you can grab it up and you get your 8 sheets of aluminium. And as you can see, it's a total of 50 hits. So, there we go. Let's figure out how to, let's move on and sort out what we were doing. Rolling machine, yes. Apologies, some weird news just came in and my head is not 100% in the game anymore, but we will fix that. I need more brick construction blocks. Honestly, I need I need a lot of burnt brick. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna spend some time off camera, sort out whatever's going on that I have on my mind. I can make nether brick by smelting netherrack. There's just no great way to make the stuff that I want. That's okay. We can make netherrack out of nether essence. So where is my nether essence? Right in here. So I'm gonna make myself just a couple of stacks of burnt brick to kind of pass the time while I sort out this bit of bad news that I was just given. And once that's all taken care of, and you'll definitely be hearing about this in a vlog later on once I have more information to share, but once this is taken care of, I shall return and we shall continue with the mariculture tech line. See you soon, folks. Okay, if we're going to automate the vat a little bit, which I really want to do as I'm going to be mass producing the burnt bricks and brick construction blocks, I'm going to need a bit of a structure here. I've got a fluid tank set up to put some lava into, using my assembly halo to quickly create buckets of lava using fire essence, which is kind of nice. And I'm going to be pumping the lava out of that into the vat using an emerald fluid pipe and a wooden engine. Can put the lever right on the edge of the engine like that and have it pump just like that. And we've got a hopper leading into the vat, which is going to supply the nether brick. And then you can notice that it begins working. And then once we see the lava drop, it'll hit 3,000 and then drop to 2,750 in just a second here. 4,000, 3,750. The bottom hopper won't pull nether brick out. It will only pull out the burnt brick. So now basically all I need to do is dump bricks up there and make sure that tank is full. And I'm all set for creating lots of burnt brick easily. Pretty happy about this. Definitely going to be using a lot more fire essence, but that's why we have a setup for that. And in the future, there's going to be a better option for converting fire essence into lava, something that I can set up a lot of it and kind of ignore it a little bit, which will be nice. But that's coming in 0.7. So now I just need to let that process and I'll be able to produce the construction blocks that I need to finish this off. Do I have any more? Yep, I just need 2 more. All right, back in a moment. All right, 1 rolling machine takes crafting. Oh, you know what? I need to actually... You think you're ready, and then it turns out you're really, really not. So put 4 iron bars back in there and make use of the assembly halo. We're going to get that rolling machine made. That requires the brick construction blocks. And we made 2 pistons because I have the piston recipe saved on my assembly halo. I love this thing. This might actually be my favorite mobile crafting machine I've ever used. So that takes care of that bit. Now it's just a matter of getting the other thing going. So I think I need 8 tin. And I'm only going to need a few gold. And I definitely need some glass, but I have that on hand. Alright, assembly halo. First off, I know I'm going to need a piston. Now, the rest of it. For the hobbyist steam engine, we need to make these gold-plated gears, which come from the tin gear bushing. Anyway, we need 4 of these, so that's 2 crafts, and then the gold-plated gears, as well as the engine itself, use gold nuggets. So, create 4 of those, because apparently I'm making 2 of these, and I didn't even realize it. That's okay. I need another piston. What am I missing for a piston? A lever. Lots of levers in the tools pouch. There we go. And if you mouse over something that you don't have the materials for, it will show you the materials you're missing in grayed out form. So for example, if I were to mouse over the... or maybe it won't. Very strange. I thought there was a way to see what you're missing, because I'm only missing the lever right now, but that lever doesn't look any different. Ah, never mind. Alright, one more hobbyist steam engine, and we're golden. We really didn't need 2, but we have 2 anyway. So, there. Alright, let's see what the next step on the quest is, because I bet there's a second step. Detection task. It wants me to make iron plates. Okay, so let's go make 4 iron plates. 1, we're going to use a little bit of coal coke for our steam engines. I'm just going to grab 4. And we'll set the rolling machine right down in the world, I think. Just over here, demonstration area. We will build a better space for it another time. And we need to give you lever. And I need to use my buckets to fill these with some water. Unfortunately, I cannot use the... Actually, can I? I doubt it. This is gonna... I'll be surprised if I can. But let's see if I can use the Rod of the Seas. The answer is no. Okay. So these can hold up to 4 buckets of liquid each. And we're going to want to get each of them completely topped up before we go. What's going to happen is it's going to burn fuel to generate heat, which will then be able to convert the water into steam. And it will only function when given a redstone signal. Starts burning. Once the temperature gets above 100 degrees Celsius, that is the boiling point of water, it will begin creating steam. Now, we want to get the iron plate recipe set up in the rolling machine. It's just 4 iron ingots makes 4 iron plates. Very simple, yes? And you can now see that they are producing, they're making their noises, they are generating redstone flux power from the RF API, and we are getting some power into the rolling machine. Now, if you have multiples in here, it will just go right ahead and continue. But it uses a fair bit of power to make this. It does not actually tell me exactly how much, but it's not free. It's not exactly super expensive, but it's not free. So yeah, that's going to produce a good bit of steam. As this steam fills up, I believe these hobbyist steam engines will burn faster and produce more redstone flux per tick. But there is a limit, and it's fairly low. These are not the best engines in the world. We will be making much better engines in the future. Will it tell us exactly how much? Up to 20 redstone flux per tick using 10 millibuckets of steam per tick. So we're currently producing 40 redstone flux per tick using 20 millibuckets of steam. So yeah, not exactly very fast. And you can see the amount of steam redstone flux per tick it is producing is based on how full the steam bar is. The steam bar fills faster, the hotter it gets. You can also pipe steam into these from an external source of steam, which we will likely be doing later on. Unfortunately, these guys also seem to be capping out on the amount of redstone flux they have inside of them. They don't seem to be transferring it all to the... Oh, the rolling machine is not full. I am not certain why the rolling machine will not accept more power more quickly than that, but that's the old style Buildcraft type power mechanics that the new style attempts to emulate. We're actually going to steal the coal coke out of those because these should fill up on redstone flux. They're not going to hold a charge very well, but that's okay. So there's our reward, 16 more coal coke, which we can add to the coal coke chest and see what's next on the agenda. Finishing the On a Roll quest opens up full steam ahead to produce some boilers, which should then move us on to eventually producing a blast furnace. We have hit just the edge of the time for today, but I really wanted to get this rolling machine going before I jumped into titanium. My next step is going to be exploring the nether some off screen and checking out what the mining levels on the various ores are, as well as doing some mining in there to get the nether copper that I need because, well, I mean, you guys can figure out how to go and dig something out of a wall. Not that difficult. So, thank you very much for joining me, folks. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If so, please leave a comment and a thumbs up telling me what you liked about it. If not, please leave a comment and a thumbs down telling me what you'd like to see me do better. And I will see you next time.